Welcome to the Poundcast, my pound
Welcome,
pimples and
welcome to the
everyone.
Poundcast.
Welcome to the Poundcast. Today we have a wonderful show with Moshe Kasher and the wonderful Natasha Leggero, and they are up in
Well,
their cabin up north somewhere, and they're going to be checking in from their cabin, and we're going to learn a little bit about their cabin and all
and
kinds
it's
of
going to
other
be
things.
going off.
It's going to be going off. Now, Brent, I wanted to tell you, I forgot to tell you this last week. This is kind of a funny story. I was at this beautiful campsite the other day in Malibu, and there's a beautiful swimming hole.
Oh, you sure were.
Beautiful swimming hole. I was in there swimming,
There
and then there's
sure
these
was.
there's these fools over on the side, and they got their fishing poles in the water. They're trying to
Oh, you
catch
don't like
a
that, huh?
fish. No, it's dumb. Don't be fishing in this beautiful swimming hole. They're sitting there trying to catch their fish. They're probably gonna just pull out of the water and just throw back in, just make a fish terrified and annoyed for a day. So I'm looking at them like, that's dumb. That's a dumb hobby. So I get out of the water and I'm sitting on the shore, and I get a little hankering for a snack. So I pull out my Louisville vegan jerky. Have you heard of that, Brent?
I have indeed.
Yeah.
There is such a thing.
Um, and I'm always eating Louisville vegan foods.
Oh, you're always popping it in your mouth, in and out, you know.
Yeah, you can go to louisvilleveganfoods.com if you guys want to check it out, see what I'm talking about. They have,
I mean, your hand is going in and out the bag, but it's only going in the mouth.
yeah. So anyway, this guy's like, I ran out of bait for my fishing hobby. And then I go, hey man, maybe you can put a little bit of the sesame teriyaki on the end of that hook. Maybe that'll catch a fish. He's like, what are you talking about? I don't understand those words. I said, okay, maybe you can put a little maple bacon because I had that flavor too. I mean, it comes in perfect pepperoni, smoked Carolina barbecue, smoked chipotle. And the guy puts down his pole and he's like, all right. And then he's like, wait a second, this smells good. This is bait. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna let you put it on the bait. Why don't you take a bite? Not bait. I said bite. And then he like takes a bite and he's like, whoa, I don't need to fish anymore. I'm just gonna eat Louisville vegan jerky
He
today.
said, I don't need bait. I just needed a bite.
I just need to bite.
I just needed a bite, mate.
And then he took his fishing pole and he chopped it up with a little hatchet.
I thought
Destroyed
you were going to say, then he took his fishing pole and he just shoved it up his own rectum.
it.
Hey, I don't want it to go to waste, you know, trying to
Yeah. Well,
conserve
no,
it.
he dismantled it and he recycled all the parts and properly disposed of it, all because he had a one wonderful bite of Louisville vegan jerky. And he asked, hey man, you're my new buddy now. Where do I get this stuff? I said, well, you can get it at many grocery stores such as Sprouts, Whole Foods.
Just a sprouts.
He says, I don't know what the heck that is. We don't have nothing like that. I said, well, you can go to louisvilleveganfoods.com and use the code word poundcast for 20% off of your entire order. And he's like, that's a great deal. I'm going to go do that
He's like, that's,
after I recycle my.
well, after I take this fishing pole out of my rectum.
And he says, wait a second. You, what do they have at this? Do they just have this jerky that I'm loving right now? I said, yeah, they have that. They also have toppins. They have limited edition sesame gochujang flavor, which is a difficult to pronounce flavor, but it's good. They
And
also
they got,
have
and they got
Louisville
chocolate.
vegan jerky gift set. You can get a gift set and you can get 20% off. Just go. I said, listen, buddy, support the Poundcast. Then he's like, what's that? And he pulled out his earbuds and he listened to the Poundcast. I really changed this guy's life for the better.
Yeah, he's a new man.
Now he put down the fishing pole and he's enjoying a nice snack. And he went swimming with me. We swam, we dunked each other. You know how like when you're at the pool when you're a kid, you dunk? Like you dunk your friends, you shove their heads down. Have
I
you
mean, I
done?
guess so. I don't really like that kind of play.
I mean, it's not a fun thing, but we used to
It's a
do it.
little bit kind of too hardcore in a
I used
way.
to get dunked. I used to dunk everybody.
Right.
I dunked him. He loved it. He was like, haha, this reminded me when I was a kid. I said, yeah, man, that's my lifestyle. Join me. And he joined me. And he also said, I'm now happy to support the Poundcast and go to LouisvilleVeganFoods.com and use 20% off with the code word Poundcast.
Well, hey man, that sounds good. Look, I want to just say this. I've been meaning to mention this at the end of the episodes, and I keep on forgetting at the end of the episodes because we wrap it up really quickly at the end. But I just want to give a thanks, and I want to start mentioning it every episode to the interns that have been helping us out on the show.
Absolutely, brother.
And I guess I should check with them if it's cool if I say their full names, but for now we'll just say the first names. But Chloe has been Chloe, Jack, Nathan, and JC,
JC is our newest intern.
and they've all been helping
And
out.
she's running
And
the Twitter. We're on Twitter now.
Twitter, yeah. Nathan runs the Instagram. Jack deals with the YouTube videos, and Chloe deals with the audio episodes.
And thank you. Yeah, thank you, interns. You guys are super helpful.
Yeah,
And we,
and Jack has been making those little thumbnails on the videos too, by the
yeah,
way.
he's been doing a great job on the vids.
So, okay, now one other
Yeah,
thing
but
before
yeah, well, we should also mention if you want to support us, besides
yeah,
visiting our sponsor's website, you could also join our Patreon page for a very small amount. What is it, $2? That's the entry level,
it's
and
entry level, but if you
you'll
want to
get
get
access to the bonus content. Today we have today after we talk to Moshe and Natasha, we're going to keep talking to them in a little extended version. You'll get the extended after dark. We call them Poundcasts. Just sign up at our patreon.com/Poundcast. Simple as that.
yeah, and I mean, look, entry level's two if you want to go low, but if you want to like go five, you get more stuff too
You even
from
get
five. You
more.
get the
Yeah.
video, you get video from After Dark, and you also get um, I don't know, you get other little bits and things here and there. It's cool. It's cool stuff.
Cool. It's a cool thing to do.
Now, one thing I just want to address real quick, and I feel free to like jump in with jokes because I don't want this to seem too serious or whatever. But before we move on with the episode, I wanted to just briefly address some things about the last episode. I just wanted to make sure that it's clear that the views expressed by Ed Marzewski do not reflect the views of my own, and I'm not going to speak for you, but and in fact, I very much disagreed with the things he was saying, particularly about looting and Antifa.
All right, let's get on let's get on with the show. But first, we have a remix. Who sent this? Let me see. From Bryce Mackey. Check out my SoundCloud, Bryce Mackey, Mackey, for more instant classics, is what Bryce says. And of course, Bryce is a Patreon subscriber, and that's another bonus for the Patreon. You get access to the stems if you want to make your own remix, and we'll put it on the Poundcast. Here we go.
Welcome to the Poundcast. 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 Welcome to the Poundcast.
Wow, you're looking cool, man.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is there a way to tell we're in a trailer more? I want it to be clear that we're.
What's up,
Yeah,
boy?
Moshe, you look like you're like 25 and you live in Portland or something. You look really cool.
Yeah, you do look really different, actually. Really different.
I mean, then you should lose the glasses, all right? Like,
well,
and you got the beard going on. It's like, who is that? Who's that person?
Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it.
Well, there's a lot that's different about you right now. You're wearing a plain white T-shirt. You know, you have a hat on, I guess, and long hair.
He's drinking coffee and chewing Nicorette at the same time.
Oh, that's like almost. It's coffee and Nicorettes.
What'd you say?
Coffee and Nicorettes.
Okay.
It's a combination that everybody does.
Hey, are we going? Is the show begun?
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
begun. I'm going to say, Brent, let's you and I back off our mics a little bit because they're a little quieter than us.
Okay.
And then
I asked if they could hear it.
I can just turn.
well, I'll pump it up I'll pump it up later anyway.
I'll be back.
I can turn it down in my preferences here. Do you want me to do
Where'd you
that?
go camping?
I went to Malibu Creek.
You know, Doug, you look very skinny.
Thank you. I lost 20 pounds or so.
Wow. I haven't seen you in a while, I guess.
We're both looking good. We're thriving in this quarantine thing.
I know, unlike Brent over here looking plump and unhealthy.
You think I look plump?
No, I'm joking.
I'm looking swole, dude. Look at this. I'm all muscular now.
Have you been exercising, Brent?
A little bit. I do push-ups and sit-ups, but I should do more.
I heard something recently. I heard that men that can do 40 push-ups in a row have a 96% less chance of having a heart attack.
I don't
96.
I don't really do 40 in a row. I can't do 40. I do 20 in a row. I'll do 2 sets of 20.
If you do 2 sets of 20, you can do 40 in a row.
I'm going to try that because I usually just do like 15 or 20, and then I would try to do like 100 a day. You know, I don't really do them anymore, but I should get back into it because I got these push-up.
I think it's more of like a general thing. Like if your body is the kind of body that can do 40 push-ups, you're probably in the kind of health that is much less likely. That interface right there.
Are you wearing contacts right now, Moshe?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, you definitely have a different thing going on right now.
Flip the switch to the right there. It's all the fact that I'm not wearing glasses. That's what's going on. And my hair's long.
No, your hair's long, and you have like kind of facial hair-ish kind
I
of.
shouldn't have a lot of comments on my looks.
Well, you weren't in the image, but now you're in the image and you look fantastic.
You look great as usual.
Do I look young like Moshe?
Yeah.
Wait, I can't tell. Are we doing a podcast right now, or is this still the?
This is it. This is what the
is
show
all
is.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wanted to talk today, guys, about the upcoming presidential election.
Oh, great. Let's dig in.
Have you guys heard about this?
2 really great candidates.
It's just real, and it's what's going on for me right now. No, I don't really want to talk about that. How are you guys?
I'm great because I just went camping and my phone doesn't work at the Malibu Creek. You know, you'll get like, you know how like it seems like it comes in waves. You ever been in a place where like it kind of works? You have one bar, but then all of a sudden they'll see like 5 texts and you can't really reply to them. So
we've been living that bar free life for about 3 weeks now.
No, I mean that's one of the reasons why we're able to stay up here for so long is because we can get internet, right?
But we got no bars.
We don't have any bars,
So like I miss calls from Brent all the time.
but we can do FaceTime and we can do Zoom.
Yeah, it's kind of one of
And email.
the best advantages of being up here is that when Brent calls, I'm unable to receive the call. That's been kind of a huge bonus.
No, Moshe loves talking to you, Brent. It's like always a highlight for him.
Whenever I call, it's always it goes straight to your. It sounds like your phone's dead. It seems like it's out of batteries. It goes straight to the.
Forest issue.
Are you where? So where are you exactly?
We are in an undisclosed location in Mendocino County.
Okay, it's a property though. You're not just on the road, kind of a thing.
No, although we are in my RV right now, we're on my property.
That's what that's what I was wondering. So
basically potted up with another family. So there's another family living here with us, commune style. But this RV is one of the only places we have privacy, so that's why we're in here.
Who is this family? What are they?
We met them from. Did you ever see? Do you know who Osho is?
Yeah.
Who?
Do you know who Osho and Nexium are?
I know Nexium. Yeah,
They're kind of both. They're a little bit Wild Country, a little bit Nexium. They kind of draw from both. And we're just feeling really clear right now.
No, it's Moshe's old friends from like the Bay Area for like 20 years.
Have you been watching that Nexium documentary?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Me too. I love that stuff.
I can't get enough of.
What's Nexium?
It's that cult documentary on HBO that I watched without you.
Oh yeah.
It's like, why does every cult always end up with fucking the people? It's so bizarre to me. Like, and the first time the cult leader comes and tries to fuck you, you should be like, oh, this is a cult. I'm gonna leave. Like, the story is so old, you would feel like people wouldn't fall for it anymore.
Yeah, is there such thing as a cult that doesn't involve sex?
Yeah.
Which ones?
I mean, they're not all evil, are they? Well, I guess.
Jesus.
Well, they had that priest issue.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I guess like, cults are inherently bad, right? So the cults always kind of involve sex, I guess. I mean, there was a group called the Shakers in early America in like the 1600s, and they were a religious offshoot of the Protestant movement. But their whole thing was that they didn't have sex, none of them. And so the problem with that group is that they didn't.
They went extinct.
Yeah, they just went.
But you know what they did instead, which is amazing, because I know about them too, is they created the like amazing furniture. So they were all like carpenters.
They were all in the workshop fucking a wood burl instead of each other.
But there's also not female cult leaders, are there?
That's a good question.
Yeah, are there any? Yeah, that's interesting. Some female-dominated cults.
That sounds like something you would join, Brent.
I'm gonna look it up right now, folks.
You know, just imagine it being, where the men are sort of the submissives in it. You know.
I mean, Wild Wild Country to some degree did have a cult leader that was a woman. Those Osho people, when their guru kind of like went MIA, they had like a second in command. And Nexium is all filled with women that are second in command. And actually, one of the main bad guys in Nexium was not a guy at all. It was Smallville's Allison Mack.
That's right. Yeah. According to Vice, there's an article about there are female cult leaders out there. Yeah, but I don't want to read this whole article, but I wonder if those cult leaders, if those women are getting the men to like screwing the dudes, if that's the power dynamic thing is happening. Like,
and also, do these female cult leaders, do they wear thigh-high boots and, like chains and stuff, like.
Wait, why? Why that?
Do they have a whip,
Is that what you think a cult leader looks like?
No, I'm just wondering if they're kind of look like dominatrixes.
Oh, they're like Amazonian, like dom women?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. My gut instinct tells me if there's a female cult leader, she probably doesn't fuck her acolytes, because I just feel like it's always guys that are doing that kind of stuff.
Oh.
No, women can fuck for free. Like, they don't need to like convince people they're God.
You know what? In that movie, there was a movie that we saw that was, I think we all saw, that had a cult in it, and that was a female leader actually. In Midsummer.
Oh, Midsummer, right.
I mean, not that it's a fictional movie, but
it's a great documentary, honestly.
Did you see the Octopus documentary?
Just watched it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, we loved it. What did you think?
Oh, I loved it. It was really interesting. And my daughter wants to be an octopus for Halloween, so I was glad to learn about the octopus in the sense of like, she was asking me about it and I don't know anything about it. And it was so amazing.
Well, now the costume can be really accurate.
Yeah, like there could be seashells on her head and stuff. And like
one of the funniest,
a baby octopus arm.
One of the funniest things about that documentary to me was the guy in the beginning is like, I'd reached a low point in my life. I was unable to be a father to my son or a husband to my wife. So to battle that, I decided to go solo diving in the ocean with an octopus for a year straight.
Yeah.
I did feel bad for his family because it felt like he really had one of those one-track minds, like you probably would like ask him a question 500 times and he would never answer you. He'd just be like drifting off in space thinking about his octopus.
Did you guys have to get a babysitter to do this podcast?
Our child is sleeping right behind us, so we're just waiting to make sure she doesn't wake up.
She's asleep in there.
In that hot car?
No, all the windows are down.
The windows are down and it's 60 degrees.
It's the only way we can get her to sleep is we take her for a long ride down a dirt road, and then the bumpiness of the road makes her fall asleep.
And then we park it, open all the doors, take her out of her car seat, and just sit here while she's sleeping.
It's really hot in Los Angeles right now. I mean, it is a hot box.
Oh, is it? It's like never hot here. That's the other thing. It's like 65 degrees, maybe 70 degrees here every day.
What's your day like? What's your typical day like up there in your peaceful retreat?
Yeah, do you harvest corn or what?
Are you guys doing any? Are you working at all, or are you just doing?
Laundry. There's no dryer, so there's just always like laundry up everywhere. Should I go show them?
You could.
You want to take a look? I'll show you really quick.
Yeah.
You guys are in a cult basically now.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, Natasha, bye guys.
Oh, I was gonna show them really quick.
See you later.
Hold on. Talk to him. Okay, so like
Careful! Don't let us look down your dress.
Yeah, we almost we almost went.
Other trailer.
Nice. Is that Airstream?
That's
actually. I'm glad you asked, Doug. This is actually an Avion, which a lot of people say is actually superior in build quality, engineering, and design to the Airstream.
Does it have compound corners?
Oh, damn! I don't know what that is.
Look at the corners.
What's a compound corner?
It's a corner that's rounded.
Oh, hell yeah! That shit is compound, boy.
Let me look up. Go up to the top.
Better recognize.
I want to see the top of it. Yeah, that's a compound corner.
Oh, yes, a compound corner. I don't cut compound.
And then look, we made an outdoor shower too. Well, actually, the other family we're staying with did. But...
Hey, have you ever podcasted in motion like that?
Well,
No,
I just want
We're losing your
That's
signal a little bit. Oh my God, you got hot tubs back there and outdoor showers?
Yeah.
That's a cult. I'm sorry.
This is what it looks like, folks. Okay, check it out.
This is this is an interesting podcast, actually.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Okay, we'll go back in the trailer. I just wanted to set the scene for you.
No, it's interesting.
I mean, that looks beautiful up there. I'm jelly. I want to be up by those redwoods.
We'll keep going. Now over here, there we have a man working. But over here, this is a cabin that my grandfather, there's actually literally our cult, one of the members of our cult is having a business meeting over there. But this is a cabin that my grandfather, a man by the name of Dick Worthen, Dick, not as popular a name these days, built by hand in the 60s. See, so there it is. This is the A-frame.
Show him your old treehouse.
Yeah, this is a treehouse that he built for me. I used to climb in when I was a little kid. See that?
Podcasted from there.
Wow.
See that?
Now, does your daughter get to play in there now? Is she big enough to play in there?
It's a little dilapidated. It's been a while. Do you want to hear the saga of this land? I don't know if it's an interesting story or not, but there's a saga.
Of course.
Yeah.
Basically, do you think it's interesting, Tosh? Basically, my grandfather was like a man's man, from the not Jewish side of the family, and he was like built all these houses, and bought this land up in Point. I don't want to tell you, up in Mendocino, and he built this house, and he had one kid, and that was my mom. I was his only kid. My mom's deaf, as you both know, and Dick never learned sign language, so he couldn't even talk to my mom. Like his only child, he didn't even know how to communicate with her. And he was married to my grandma, obviously, and then they got a divorce, and my grandma hated his guts for the rest of her life, like fucking hated him. Anytime she'd mention him, she'd be like, he's a fucking bastard, a piece of shit. Like, she hated him, right?
Let's say the second half.
I'm about to.
Oh, okay.
And then they remarried? What? Oh, that.
No, another interesting tidbit is his grandma also told him when he was a child, that guy's
when I was a child, when I was a teenager.
A teenager.
And
disgusting piece of shit. But he always made me come.
She did say one time. She said, no, because she was like...
every time.
When I was a teenager, I started bringing girls around, and my grandma pulled me aside one day and was like, I've noticed that you've started bringing women home recently. And I was like, yeah, Grandma. And she's like, I just hope that you're satisfying them. And I was like, what do you mean satisfying them? She's like, on a sexual level. Your grandfather made me climax every single time. I was like, shut the fuck up, Grandma.
That's a better way to say it. It doesn't sound so dirty.
Well, that's what she said. And that was the only positive thing I literally ever heard her say about my grandfather, was that he made her just juice and squirt.
That's a pretty big positive, though.
Yeah, but it's interesting because, 30 or 25 years, she only had bad things to say about him. Anyway, fast forward, Dick remarried to this woman named Thelma, who was like a second grandma to me.
They called
And-
her Granny.
Was she satisfied sexually as well?
Well, as you'll find in the rest of the story, I was unable to ask those kinds of questions because she was like a second grandma to me, like really close. We called her Granny. We used to come up here with her, with Granny and Dick, and
She used to make you like food, right?
yeah, she would make me, broccoli with ranch dressing. First time I ever tried ranch dressing was with her, and
Oh, she was cultured,
yeah, she was
Most grannies are.
exposing you broadening your horizons.
used to make it from the pack though, from the dry pack.
Ooh.
Well, you better hope that that's ranch dressing. Hearing about this grandpa, had to.
That there is dick juice, son. Anyway, so she was like straight up. Hold on. All right. We have a meeting.
You know what's interesting about that ringtone? You know what's interesting about that ringtone is that it reminds me of the music of Thomas Newman, who did the music to American Beauty.
Yeah, we were just saying that, Brian.
Yeah, I was just talking about him recently.
Also known as the classic ringtone.
You just texted me about that, right, Doug?
Yeah.
It sounds like, American Beauty. All right, we'll carry on.
Okay, so Thelma was married to Dick. That's the second wife. Now, Thelma had like 3 kids, and Dick built a bunch of houses too. Dick built all kinds of sex palaces throughout the Bay Area.
With his own hands.
Yeah, he was like a real man.
With his own dick.
Yeah, with his own dick. He used to make those houses climax every time. And then he died when I was like 9 or something. He died. And Granny, who had been like a grandmother figure to me, I literally never spoke to her again. I never heard from her again. It was like a hard, like end of communication, end of relationship. And my mom, who is my grandfather's only child, in the will, she got like all Granny's kids got these houses, and they were like given homes, and they weren't even his kids. My mom got, I remember this box, her inheritance was like, I opened it and it was like old mugs that said like Dick on them, and like a ratty bathrobe, and like dirty silverware. And he had this VW bus that was like a camper, really nice one, like a really cool Type 2 or whatever they call them. And she wanted that bus from Granny, and Granny was like, oh, I'll sell it to you at like market value. So Granny was like an evil fucking bitch, right? But stipulated in the will was that this place, when Granny croaked, went to my mom, and so I didn't even speak to her or hear from her for 30 years, and then finally she died, and we got this place, and her kids were like, yeah, Granny hadn't been up here in like 15 years, and we told her like, why don't you just give it to B now? That's my mom. Give it to B now. You don't even use it. And she was like, no. She held on to it till the day she died, even though she didn't use it, to keep it from my mom. And this weird, like, the only thing I can really figure out is that maybe my grandfather was an asshole to Granny too, and she felt like this was her comeuppance, this was her revenge or something. I don't really know. But finally, like 15 years ago or 10 years ago, we got this place back, and that's where we're at now.
So it's a spite A-frame.
A spite frame. That's right. Yeah.
Spite frame.
Wow. So this is the cult that your Dick grandfather created.
This is the
cult of Dick.
The family we're with now has nothing to do with that story.
But this is the house that Dick built.
What's the biggest thing you've ever built, Brent?
The biggest thing I ever built?
Yeah, like have you ever put something together?
I made a bridge out of popsicle sticks for physics class once.
Doug, I feel like you probably like built something.
Yeah, not a house. I would love to learn. I would like to learn. I built, I built the whole bed in my camper van and shelving, and I built shelves and things. But
that's pretty good.
My sister built a table recently. It looks really good. That's not me exactly, but it's related.
It's not me exactly.
It's not me.
He's got it in him. If he had to, he could probably figure it out.
It's in my bloodline. Hey, but Moshe, I'm kind of curious about this, though. when you were a teenager, you were bringing girls over to the house,
Yeah.
and you mean, were you not, you weren't self-conscious about that in front of your elders?
Not really. No, no. My mom raised me in like a super like sex positive, do what you love kind of way. So no, not really. No.
Was your
Okay.
mom was your mom deaf since birth?
Since my birth, I made her go deaf when I was born. No, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think she was born with like a, I don't know, a deformed eardrum or something like that.
Is there a hope that she can hear again with like new technology, like some kind of Elon Musk chip, brain chip or something?
Yeah, apparently the new Tesla upgrade will allow her to hear like a normal person, but we can't afford it right now.
No, she actually got a cochlear implant, and she says it makes her able to hear better, but we don't really know if that's true, because like she'll say she can feel the piano now when it's playing.
So
Right.
she's not somebody who wanted to stay deaf, even if she had the opportunity to hear, you know what I mean? Because some people, they're so used to it, they prefer to not, they want to keep things the same and operate the same way.
Well, no, I mean my it's interesting. Like, there's a whole group of deaf people. My sister, my half sister, is very much like this. That are like, um, they're like militants. They're
Like
all
deaf power.
yeah, deaf power, deaf pride. They love deafness and deaf culture. And mom was very much like that growing up. She was like a teacher for the deaf and involved in the disability rights movement and stuff like that. But when it came to the opportunity for her to hear again, she just really didn't care about that part of it. But in the end, it was actually it didn't really work. She's totally deaf still. She says she experiences sensations when the piano is playing or when the rain is falling, and like I can't really judge whether or not it was worth it for her. She says it was worth it, but from my perspective, it was a terrible idea. Because she got a major surgery that destroyed her equilibrium. She hasn't been able to walk with good balance ever since she got the surgery, and like in exchange for that, she like can kind of hear like fuzz when my stepfather plays piano.
Oh, geez. Well, what's up? What about your other grandpa? Was he cool?
My other grandpa I never met. He died before I was born. He was a novelist. He was a Yiddish novelist and wrote for like communist newspapers in New York. Around the time of the war, but he died before I was born. He seemed cool. I recently found out also that my great grandfather was an actor, which explains a lot.
So social justice has been in your bloodline for a while.
That's right. I come from a long line of social justice warriors.
It's a warrior bloodline, a social justice warrior bloodline. Um, I wanted to just pause for a second here. Is there any chance you guys can go to the settings on Zoom and just increase the audio, the microphone volume? Is that possible for you?
You really don't hear this like generator coming on?
No, I think it
No,
must.
in fact, it's even hard to hear you guys.
Is it really? Oh, we should have been recording on our phone, so we could have sent you the audio.
I mean, Brent, I could like compress it so it, even
Okay,
evens it out
whatever.
a bit, and then
No big deal.
Hold on.
Sorry, I just thought.
That better? How's that?
I think
Doesn't
that's
sound-
better.
Sure, it doesn't really sound much different, but yeah, it's fine. It's cool.
We can also do
No,
some.
No,
you're
no,
good.
you're
It's
good.
I
You're
think
good.
it's fine. I think it's fine. My question is, what's your typical day like up there? Did you answer that yet?
No, we didn't. Natasha?
So you wake up and there's 4 kids
We
who
fought.
are like,
We fought in the morning, and I make her climax 4 times before breakfast.
there's
And-
four children who are like talking to you, and one of them starts the fire, and then I try to talk one of them into feeding my child, and then I'll go into the trailer for some alone time, maybe some meditation.
Then I join her for the mid-afternoon climax.
And then the older kids go to Zoom school, and then the 2 younger kids, we're trying to take turns watching them. And then one of the 4 adults has to watch them each day, and then the other ones can do whatever they need to work on, and we're all trying to write and do our work.
I'll tell you what I've done since I've been up here. I have painted and caulked in honor of my grandfather the shower. We built that outdoor shower, but that was pretty much exclusively my friend Jeremy. I'm getting ready to stain a deck I cleaned the trailer. I'm getting ready to hang some rope lights. What else have I done? We painted some cabinets. We sanded and painted cabinets. I laid some tile. I've been doing a lot of manual labor up here, honestly.
Have you laid any pipe?
Well, in honor of my grandfather, yes.
Okay, good.
In honor of Selma, I've accepted.
In honor of Granny.
Granny.
Are you gonna stay up there? It sounds like a nice life.
It's definitely, I think right now it feels really nice because it's not so cold here. You know, it's like 65 to 70s. But I think as soon as it gets in the 40s to 50s, I don't know how much I'm going to be into it.
Well, here's what I'd say.
But I do like the idea of commune life, especially right now. We feel very safe from COVID. There's not a lot of cases here. There's more help than we've had at home because there's like 4 adults to watch the kids and our child has playmates. Getting the benefit of socialization without having to go into preschool or go into the world yet.
And we're living on 40 acres of like beautiful, like thick, verdant Mendocino County redwood forest that I have an emotional connection to, that I've been coming to since I was, a little kid. And so like, you can't really beat that experientially. And not only that, but 5 minutes down the road are beaches that are with surf spots in them. So I've been surfing every day, walking the forest at night.
He surfed today.
Taking a hot tub and an outdoor shower, eating a communal meal with a bunch of friends and their kids. And like, there's no reason for me to come. And now here I am hanging out with you two.
But you guys would love Moshe interacting with the kids because like they are all obsessed with him. And one of them calls him Moshe Daddy. One of them calls him Boss King. And like Moshe's constantly arguing with them, telling them like, you're just like, he's just like, if a kid says something to him, he's like, I'm talking right now, please don't interrupt me.
Well, I have a style of child interaction called I don't let anything go. And I'll take it to you. I'm down to fight.
So there's a lot of Moshe arguing with a 9-year-old happening, but other than that, it's pretty fun.
So 9 years old is the oldest?
Yeah.
7, 9, 4, and then our kid is 2.
That's fun. Do either one of you make them laugh a lot, the kids?
Yeah, I make them laugh all the time.
What are you doing? What goes over well with the 9-year-old or the 7-year-old?
I wrote a song about how when the dogs die, what order I'll love them, or like what order I'll love the dogs, and it was like all about the dogs dying, and they were kind of laughing at that. And
I was pitching. I did two things. I played them Louis C.K.'s recent hour, and they really liked that. They're like, this guy's a genius, and I was like, oh, wait, it's a complicated story. But the game I did with them recently that they really liked was they all have loose teeth. And so I riffed for about an hour on different ways we could get their tooth extracted. Possibilities.
What were some funny ones?
I said we could. What did I say? I said that we could tie. It all connected to tying a piece of. Okay, there's a big rock out on the surf beach that we go to down the road, and I said that I would lash her to the rock like a siren. I would tie her hands behind the rock so she was lashed to the rock. Tie a piece of dental floss to her tooth. Tie the other piece of dental floss to my ankle, and I would go surfing. And so when I caught a good ripper, then it would just like they would pop that tooth out.
Yeah, but you're coming towards here, so it'd probably be more like the paddle out.
No. So okay, Doug, great question. We paddle out together. She's free. We get out there. I put her up on the rock. She tries.
Oh, the rock is out further. I gotcha. Okay.
Out there.
It's not on the shore.
I take some lashing or rope of some sort, tie it to her wrists and her ankles, tie that all the way around the rock so she's trapped, kind of like vultures eat my body style. Then I crawl back around, I tie dental floss to the tooth, I take the dental floss, I tie that to my ankle, and I just go have a surf sesh. And by the end of the sesh, she doesn't have that tooth anymore.
Yesterday when I was at the beach, there was a kid with his dad, and there was like one of those like information plaques with like the different sea life that's found, at Malibu Lagoon or whatever. And this kid just kept going, "What's this, Daddy? What's that one, Papa? What's this, Papa?" And he's like, "That's a crab." "What's this, Papa?" "That's a bird." "What's this, Papa?" What do you do if you have a kid like that, an insufferable, questioning child?
Here, let me tell you, because like he was getting into a fight with one of them today, and he was trying to use the hot tub, and they kept saying, Why do you get to be in the hot tub right now? I want to be in the hot tub. And he's like, well, I'm trying to be in here right now. You can do it after me. And then he's like, wait, you can't do it after me because I'm going to put chemicals in. And they're like, why not? Why not? Excuse me, Moshe, excuse me. And then finally I go, you know what? Men need to relax. Moshe needs to relax. We built the hot tub so he could relax. So can you please leave him alone? And then Moshe, he left her. She left him alone. But then I think that he told me that kids try to be annoying.
That's a problem with
Which
kids.
I didn't know. I just thought I'm being practical. I'm like, leave the guy alone. He's trying to take a hot tub. Why are you asking him a million questions?
That's the problem with kids. At this age, at the age 7, 8, 9, they're not just curious. They actually know that that it's sort of annoying, and they're kind of into it. They like want a little bit to like make you go crazy. You know? Do you remember doing that?
Well, it's probably like
I
some
did
kind
that,
of power.
but
It's a power thing.
I just shut the window so they don't hear us.
Oh yeah.
Also, there's a lot of like, can you help me with this math problem? And like, I really don't know even like 6th grade math. As soon as it started going to like the other powers, I'm kind of out. And so they keep asking these very complicated math problems, and I feel like I'm of no use.
Oh man, I love math. I wish I was there.
Well, you could quarantine for 2 weeks and then come.
Honestly, Doug, you would love it up here.
I'm ready to join your cult. I would, you know, I'll put up an A-frame. I'll put up like a tiny A-frame. I'll live in there. I'll do a D. I'll do a D frame. I'll do A. I'll do B. I don't care.
The lowercase A frame.
I keep telling Moshe we have to build more little places on the property so that people can come stay.
So Doug, you would love it.
Brent,
you would fucking hate it.
Right, but I love math though, so it might balance out. You know?
I'll bring my van, and I just, you know, I'll stay on the van. I'll get to learn. I'll get to meet the kids. I'll help you guys with the kids. You guys can go surfing and meditating. I'll play with those kids. I'll answer all their questions.
Me too. I like that challenge of like dealing with the kids and stuff. It sounds fun. I mean, are you? Because you act. You know, you probably. Both of you probably act really silly, right, around them, and maybe they're even thinking, these people are grown-ups? They seem like kids. Like, do they think that you're like kids?
I imagine Moshe being like hardcore, like authoritarian guy, not like fun
That
guy.
is kind of my vibe.
That is kind of his vibe, and their parents aren't like that at all. So I keep telling Moshe, you can't just be like parenting other people's kids.
Hey, that makes me sound so annoying.
But then also, like, I feel like I'm like the lady giving them treats, because like I brought orange juice home, and they were like, they couldn't believe we had orange juice.
That's how you know we're in a cult, is that the treat she was giving was orange juice.
Oh my God, orange juice! Is that like a real treat up there? Like you don't get oranges? They don't.
Well, I don't think their parents let them have a lot of sugar, so like the idea that my child is just drinking orange juice, they like were lining up for it and asking for it and begging for it now every time I go to the store. Please
What kind of orange juice was this? Was it true fresh squeezed orange juice, or was it some
Minute Maid
crap?
Actually, if I was the head of the FDA, I would make it so that fresh squeezed orange juice and Minute Maid were 2 separate products legally. Because it tastes so different. Like, why are they even the same thing, really? You know?
Moshe is such a snob. He will not eat at a restaurant. He will not order the pancakes if they don't have real maple syrup.
What's the point? It's not good.
What if it's real maple syrup, but it's grade A?
Is that the bad grade?
I think I think oddly B is like the better one.
B for better. A for ass.
A for ass flavor.
What if it was real maple syrup, but the pancakes were made out of, you know, like the neck of a pig or something?
The neck of a pig?
I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't go for that, Brent. Would you?
But it's real maple syrup, though. Real maple syrup, though.
But I mean, I that sounds like a bad pancake. I'll be honest. It's made out of pig necks.
Well, it's maybe pig face. It's a what do they call it? Scrapple.
It's scrapple from a pig, but it's a
or a cow, or it's cow scrapple or something. Goat scrapple.
Are you guys raising any chickens or anything like that? Any of your own food, gardening?
We started composting.
Does that count?
Here's a problem with this place is there's nowhere to throw away your garbage.
Right, there's no trash service on this property, which is definitely the challenge.
So we have to burn all the paper and put it in the stove to keep for when we have fires at night, and then all of the recycling goes one place, and then all the compost, which is like fruit and vegetable scraps, go another place, and then regular old trash.
Well, the
that
regular
goes
old
in a different place.
regular old trash. The strategy so far has been to drive into town and take someone's garbage can and just do illegal garbage dumping, which is like such a bad idea. Like that's what my friends who've been staying up here for the last few months have been doing, and I'm like, it's such a bad idea. This is like a small town. There's 473 people in this town, and it's like they all know who you are and where you live. Like the moment they see you dumping your trash in the garbage can of a local business, they'll just be like, wait a minute, aren't you that guy that lives over there in that A-frame? And then your reputation is trash up here. And so I'm trying to, literally trash. So I'm trying to
but it's cool to like learn how to conserve.
Yeah, and how to take advantage of small businesses and their sanitation bill.
Do you know, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying being forced to conserve, because in LA it's so easy to just like be wasteful.
It's really true. I will say that like since being here, the kinds of things that I've been thinking about in LA about like reducing our like disposable footprint, you know, how much we throw away. Like I started to realize up here, because the issue's been forced a bit, that so much of the stuff that we throw away that we think are like just facts of life, like we generate this much trash. Now that I'm being forced to rethink it, I realize like I could cut down my garbage footprint by like 30% easily by making a few different choices.
What are those choices?
Wearing a diaper.
Yeah, wearing a diaper.
I don't know.
Well, one is composting. It's such an easy thing to do, and I always thought it was just gross, but it doesn't need to be gross. Like we found this thing called what was it called? What's it?
Sub pod?
A sub pod. And it's basically like, you know how Brent, you were saying the woman in the thigh-high boots, that's more of a dom pod. So this is a sub pod. You find like sort of sexually submissive people, you lock them in a box and you just compost at them.
And they gobble it up. They love it.
Right up. They love it. They love nothing more. No, the sub.
They gobble that scrapple, that leftover scrapple.
Gobble that pancake.
Yeah.
You gobble that pork pancake, bitch. No, but like the sub pod, it's a really kind of attractive little thing. It's like a bench, right? And you sit on it. It looks like a bench. You put it in your yard, and it looks just like a bench. And on the side of the two seats is dirt, and under the bench you pull up the bench seats, and it's these two sort of porous boxes that you toss all your compost into, and you put worms down in the dirt. You close that off. The worms start to eat the compost and fertilize that dirt, and you have like a cute little herb garden or flower garden. And it's like, my point is like, I'm not a super hippie that's like super low carbon footprint, but these are like little things you could do. Like it's nice, you just toss your garbage in there and then it's not garbage anymore. Like also,
you know, water's at a shortage here, so like when you flush the toilet or wash your hands, like, you know, there's water that's like running out, so you know, you have to kind of really conserve. And so we use like paper plates and paper cups, and then you burn them, and then that is for the fire.
But that doesn't.
And then you don't waste water.
And then you start a redwood forest fire.
No, we have.
No, the fire inside the house.
No, what we do is we'll take a large like bundle of paper plates, set them on fire, and kind of drive down the road and just toss them
into a neighbor's garbage can.
That's right. But we're also using composting toilets for 2 out of 3 of the living structures up here, which are like 0 water.
Moshe's family is obsessed with composting toilets.
I mean, it's really me. I'm kind of the composting toilet aficionado of the group.
Does that compost, does the poo in there turn into stuff you put in the garden?
No.
That's a totally separate thing.
It doesn't turn into true compost. What it does.
Are there worms? Are there worms in there? The worms eat the poo?
Only the ones that I actually add when I poo.
Okay, right. Yeah.
But that's really not connected.
Do you guys want to see the composting toilet?
Yeah, you could see one if you want. Are you interested?
Can I see one that's been used?
I'm interested because I want one. I want one because I want to build some kind of thing in my backyard somehow. Someone
Check this out. I can't recommend this composting toilet enough. It's so dope. It uses no water and there's no smell. I'll explain everything later.
This is Brent's nightmare.
So, too bad this isn't in smell-o-vision. But so this is the toilet.
So this is
okay.
This is, and by the way, is it if it's yellow, it's mellow or what?
No, that's a different. No. So this is. You see the two holes, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to describe it to the audio-only listeners. There's a toilet, and there's a. It's not filled with water. There is a hole that's covered up with a plastic flap, and then there's two other little holes there.
So the plastic flap that's covered up. That's where the doo-doo goes. And when you go doo-doo, you go like this, and you open it up.
It drops down. Right.
Yeah.
So wait, when it comes out, you open that up. Or do you?
Yeah.
Do you lay it? Do you lay it first, and then you open it?
Lay it, and then drop it.
It's very confusing, and we all have to have a lot of talks about shit that I really don't like. But then after you go, oh shit! After you go, will you show them here? I want to show you guys something.
Okay.
So no, point at
Here,
me.
grab it. Grab the computer.
No, I want to do a demonstration.
Oh, okay.
After you go shit, look what you have to do. For me, I have to get down on my knees and start doing this.
No, wait, don't do it while the cover's not. I
gotta do this. Does this seem glamorous to you?
You're like cranking the bottom of the toilet.
Okay, so let me explain.
All right, it doesn't even crank anymore, but you're supposed to crank it 3 times.
Natasha's not giving it the due deference that it deserves because this thing is kind of an amazing product. So when you gotta go doo-doo, you pop that bad boy open. When you're done, you wipe up, close that bad boy up, and then you turn this agitator right here, right? You turn this agitator to stir up the compost and the toilet paper and the doo-doo that's in there, right? Now, you close up when you're just going wee-wee. These two things, it's like a urine cipher. And then you see down here, this guy here. That's a bottle that separates your pee from your poo. So, okay, logic to the whole thing, right? The logic to the whole thing is that I didn't know this before I got the composting. Toilet. But the thing that makes sewage really smell bad is not actually shit. Shit is actually the in terms of long-term disgusting smell, it's short-term real bad, long-term real good because shit just dries up. Like, you ever seen dog shit in a park that's like a week old? It's just like dust, right? It doesn't even really look like it's just not that nasty, right? It's fresh shit. It's disgusting, right?
It's great. I love the dry stuff. The dry stuff's great.
I love it. We love it. Doug and I love it.
Add a little water and it spruces it right back.
Yeah, or crumble it on a salad, or sprinkle it on top of a pork pancake. You got yourself a pig shit surprise. But
you put some maple syrup. You put some real maple syrup on it.
Yeah, that's what they call dog candy.
Okay, so wait, what are you getting at here?
Okay, I'm trying. My point is,
I wanted to show you how the Moshe acts like it's no big deal, but for me, having to get on the floor after I go to the bathroom and start cranking a thing, like a lot of times I'm like, it's one of those times where I'm like, what have I done?
You mean by mirror?
It's one of those times where you're thinking, why don't I hire somebody to do this for me, to be my cranker?
Now hold on.
Toilet cranker.
Finish my point here. Urine and poo-poo together, mixing in the wetness of the piss and the disgustingness of the shit, and then eventually, like, pee, unlike poo, smells worse the older it is. Poo smells better the older it is, right? We all know that. That's a classic, right? So basically, what the composting toilet does is it separates the urine into that bottle and the poo-poo into that cavern, and then you add you put in that little bucket coconut coir fiber or something called sphagnum peat moss, which is basically just dirt, right? So you shit in that little thing.
This is where I try to get him to talk about something else.
Well, you guys,
I'm interested.
You shit in that thing. You stir the agitator 3 times to mix up the mulch and the shit and the toilet paper. When you're done, and right now she said it was hard to turn, that's an indicator that it's time to dump it. When I take that toilet apart and I dump it, when I put that shit, dirt, surprise into the ground or into a garbage can, it smells like earth, like just like soil, like absolutely zero smell.
So where are you gonna put it when we empty it? You're gonna put it in a garbage can?
Because we're in the woods, I'll probably dig a hole and dump that stuff in there because
you should dump it. Why don't you dump it in front of a small business's front door?
I have a few ideas here
that
I thought of recently. Well, this first one is not a recent idea, but when you're talking about waste and how to reduce waste in a place like LA or a big city, I think if they charged your garbage per pound, like when the garbage truck comes, it like weighs it, and you pay more the more trash you have, that would make people be like, oh, I can. It's all about the money, you know.
That's a great idea, and also reusing things. If you're gonna have a fire, burn the paper and.
I did have.
Yeah, but that's the incentive is charge more for more trash, because otherwise it's just the can is just fill up the can. As little or as much, it's the same amount. You're just paying a flat rate for waste disposal.
That's brilliant, Doug. I would do that. I would sign up for that.
I got to get on the city council and run these ideas past them. Another idea I had is, as far as toilets go, I just got a bidet sprayer, like an Asian style one.
Nice.
Wait, what is the difference between a white bidet sprayer and an Asian one?
It's a handheld spray. You know, have you ever been to like Southeast Asia and the toilets? It's a little handheld, like the kind you would see on an 80s sink.
Oh, it's like a hose.
It's a handheld gun.
Right, you put it. It's not like you sit on it.
You gotta take the gun and put it on your butt.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's besides the point. That's besides the point.
Compost toilet.
I just don't like. I just didn't want to have a weird thing in there in the toilet. You know, like a weird little. I don't know. You
don't like that nozzle kind of thing squirting at you.
That weird nozzle just sitting there the whole time.
You want to be in control. You want to be in control of the aim and everything.
But look, I think a really bougie thing to have would be like how Brent, you said you have a cranker, would be like a bidet sprayer operator. Like you get on some kind of like horse, like not a real horse, but like you mount on like a massage table that's kind of oblong, like kind of rounded. Your legs can drop down on either side, and your sprayer servant can see what's going on down there, and they can get every little nook and cranny.
Oh, so their job is to look at your asshole and make sure it's sparkling.
And they do the shooting. They shoot it with the sprayer.
Are they smaller than average? Or are they regular sized?
They're height. They're about 3 feet high.
Children. Sounds like you need
children. There we go.
If you need kids, you should come up to our compound because we actually got what you need.
Okay, we're gonna get him into the bidet spray action.
Now, I had a realization recently because one of the ways to get things up here, which obviously wasn't true when I first started coming here, is like Amazon, right? And that just is one of the most that's one of the most disposable things that we do, right? You open these boxes, but because I was up and then just throw them away. But because I was up here, I had this realization opening an Amazon box and the cardboard that I was going to burn. I was like, this is crazy. Like at some point in this box's life, it was like a plant somewhere. And someone cut it down, brought it to a paper factory. They mulched the tree or whatever it was. They turned it into cardboard. They sent it to Amazon. Amazon put tape on it, put a product in it. They sent it in the air to me. I took it, opened it, folded it up, and threw it in my fireplace, and that's the end of its life, right? Like I turned it. They burned carbon to make it, to bring it to me. I'm making more carbon it was the first time I ever thought about that supply chain of like, maybe it's obvious to people listening, but to me it was not. It was the first time I thought about like this has had so long of a journey to get to me, and what I'm doing with it is tossing it in the garbage and burning it. It really blew my mind a little bit. And we've been thinking a lot more about stuff like that up here.
There's a kid behind you.
It's like, oh shit. We gotta go, guys.
Are you serious?
No, we're not serious.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's messed up. I've been thinking about canceling my Amazon subscription. That's kind of the new green thing to do these days.
It's so difficult, you know.
Just pay a little extra and wait a few more days and buy it
But
from.
get it from where? Like 500 different websites, and have your credit card handy so that you can like put in the information every time you need something. I mean, it's the convenience factor is, you know, it's hard to beat.
It's an unbelievably amazing service. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not.
Especially up here.
I hate it too, Doug, by the way. I mean, I always vow to stop buying, and then just when I vow, that's when I start going on like a rampage.
It's so good. I mean, it's a great thing. I mean, but
the trip for me is like, I actually don't enjoy the convenience of Amazon, and I don't enjoy the shopping experience, but I just keep shopping there because I really appreciate their labor practices. Specifically, I support that.
It's ironic that it's called Amazon, you know, which has a lot of trees in it. The Amazon.
Right. Yeah.
Not a lot.
Yes, Brent.
Less.
Maybe that's what it's meant by it, is that it is its own Amazon in a sense of, you know, trees being destroyed.
An Amazon of cardboard in some way.
Well, in a way, in the woods, we've been ordering from Amazon more because we need like I needed Grey Poupon, and they don't have it at any of the stores here. So,
are you kidding?
Wait, why don't you just pull up to a Rolls Royce at a stoplight and see if they have?
Say what you want. I know 2 recipes. They both have Dijon mustard in it. They don't have it anywhere, and I need to cook for the children.
Were you even thinking about that though when you said it? Or was it in character when you said it, or did you say that totally sincerely?
Obviously, I know that it's funny, but I'm just saying, you know, they don't have it here.
Well,
like anything they don't have, it comes from Amazon in like a day.
Well,
Did you check YouTube and see that there's got to be a how to make your own Grey Poupon, you know, recipe?
Does it have to be the brand name Grey Poupon?
And then when you're done with the Grey Poupon, do you put it in that toilet?
But of course.
And crank it. But of course. Nobody listening is going to get that reference, but
I know not one person remembers that.
Look up the Grey Poupon ads from the
Everybody does.
80s.
Everyone remembers that.
But I think like the biggest shift is for us. I don't know about you, Natasha. You've been thinking maybe mostly about Dijon, but is the subtle shift between not thinking at all about, and maybe you're ahead of the curve with that, Doug, but I guess maybe I wasn't. Not thinking at all about like every choice you make that creates garbage, and just the subtle shift. It's to thinking a little bit, to
well,
like
also
being
it's
conscious about it.
Because the truth is, if we don't conserve our garbage here, we have to drive to the dump every day, or drive to town and try to figure out who's looking so we can open up a dumpster and like illegally throw our trash in. So it's like, it's actually, it benefits us to not use a lot of garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you guys understand what we're living with here. We went looking for beluga caviar the other day, and they didn't have even one beluga. They had caviar, yes, but it wasn't beluga.
I think Dijon mustard is one of the most versatile ingredients in cooking.
Right. But you made it sound like you needed specifically Grey Poupon, the brand.
Well, that is my go-to, and Amazon did send me 2 in plastic containers for a pretty low price in a day. I'm just saying.
I've been, you know, making little adjustments in my life to reduce my carbon footprint. I've been, as you guys know, I love fireworks, and I only blow them off Friday through Sunday now instead of 7 days a week. It's the same amount of fireworks, but I just do it in the few days now.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know,
I stopped drinking gasoline.
I once heard you could get high on drinking gasoline.
Really? I know people huff it.
A guy in AA once told me, oh yeah, I got high once on gasoline. An old bum showed me how. He gave me a bottle of gasoline and a bottle of milk, and he said you take a swig of the gasoline and then you drink as much as you can of the milk to coat your stomach. And I was like, it took me 10 years to realize that guy was lying. Like, you know those kind of stories that you just are like, oh yeah, I knew this thing that happened, then you re-examine it and you go, oh no, that person's a liar.
Well, didn't they do that in that movie The Master? Didn't Joaquin Phoenix's character, didn't he like get gasoline out of something and drink that it was like a way for him to drink alcohol or something like that.
Maybe he did maybe my friend did do the bum thing.
I don't know. I'm getting that wrong probably.
I got a question for you, Brent.
Yes, sir.
You know how you don't do drugs and never would?
Mm-hmm.
If you had to get intoxicated on a drug, okay, I got your family held hostage, okay, a bullet
Give him like 5
a bullet.
Say goodbye to that family.
Say goodbye to your family, Brent. Unless you take enough of one of these drugs to get intoxicated, and I put them on the table. Cocaine.
Adderall.
No, okay, cocaine.
No, make them illegal shit.
No, okay, cocaine, meth, okay, ecstasy, LSD/magic mushrooms, marijuana, alcohol. And you got to get intoxicated. You can't just like touch it and be done.
And the marijuana is edible. I don't have to smoke it.
Yes, you have to smoke it.
Wait, he can't. I think it should be okay.
Why don't you give him a gummy?
Okay, fine, it's a gummy, but you got to get high.
It's like a lot of milligrams.
I mean, it would either be the alcohol or the marijuana. It would probably be.
You would pick alcohol over marijuana?
I said either or. I would probably. They both sound so bad to me, but maybe I would eat the marijuana. Maybe, you know.
LSD though, you could have a crazy mental experience.
I don't want to mess with my brain like that, you know.
All right.
I ain't trying to mess with my brain like that.
What about you, Doug? I've got your family, and you can no longer use alcohol. Wait, I don't even know what kind of drugs you.
I barely drink anymore at all. I have a little wine here and there, so that's easy.
Okay.
You can just leave it here.
Here, Doug. Here, Doug. I have your family. Okay.
Bye.
Okay.
And I say, since this isn't going to be fun for you because you don't really use drugs, so I say instead of that, I'll either kidnap your family and never bring them back, or not.
Probably not.
You're gonna go not? Okay.
Yeah, just let them free. Let them get back to their lives. I'll go with that. That's fine.
You call your mom Pound?
No, but her grandkids call her like Grandma Hop.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
cute. Oh, that's pretty cute. Grandma Hop is cute.
Grandma Hop.
Are you guys gonna have any more kids, or is it one and done?
I think that this trip has definitely solidified the fact that we are not multiple kid people.
Yeah. Natasha
Really?
always says one is a accessory, two is a lifestyle.
That is a quote that I heard. I did not pen that.
And I have come to really believe that that's true. There's something interesting I realized being around all these kids. When you have more than one kid, like when you have one kid, the kid has to kind of bend towards the culture of the parents in the house because there's no other options. Food-wise, they just kind of eat what's there. Music-wise, they listen to what they're being offered, right? And I'm sure that would change as she gets older, but at least for now, it's like it's all bending towards us. When you have multiple kids, they start bending in these different directions, right? And like bending toward the kid, but then the kid's friends, and then the kid's friends' friends, and then there's multiple kids, so they're bending towards each other, and it creates this thing where there's like, it's much more, so, you know, it'll be like, I want spaghetti with butter, but I want spaghetti with red sauce, but I want, and that to me, I just don't think Natasha and I are capable of dealing with that kind
That's
of
where the chaos comes in.
Well, the other father like cooks separate food for all of his different kids, but when Moshe's cooking, he's like, nope, you have to eat this. He just like refuses to modify each dish. Like if he's making pasta, he won't make like one special kind for this kid and one special kind for this kid, and they're pretty upset about it.
I think it's rude to watch somebody who's slaving over a stove and come in and say, actually, can you make me a special dish? I'm like, no, you could not eat, or you can make yourself a pizza.
Yeah, I think these parents got to start saying no to these kids, because then they'll eventually eat if you starve them out.
That's what
Just
I'm
say
saying.
no.
More healthy.
Would it be possible for us to bring you two on the computer into the cabin and you could tell them directly?
Of course.
Tell the parents?
Yeah.
Yeah, just say no. Look, this is a public service announcement. When it comes to your kids, just say no. Back in the 80s, you were just saying no to drugs. Now just say no to kids, to your kids.
What do you think it would feel like, Brent, if you took the edible?
I don't know. I'd probably
describe what is in your mind. What is marijuana that the high feel like?
I would just feel like probably like a surfer kind of guy or something like that.
Yeah.
Like you would just turn into Keanu?
Yeah,
I'd turn into Keanu Reeves, yeah.
Your laugh would change. Usually you laugh like this. But now you'd start going, oh.
Actually,
like,
that's how I would start laughing. I would actually, when I was younger, I had two laughs. I had that since I was 5, but I also used to laugh like this.
Like Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah, before Beavis and Butthead was around.
Doug, have you ever experienced? Are you chewing on nicotine gum right now, Doug?
No comment.
Oh, sorry. Is that a secret sauce?
I am. That is my vice. My one vice left.
Dude, I've been chain chewing. I'm out here chain chewing, popping one after the next.
Wait, Doug, you're not drinking or smoking pot or anything?
Like on a special occasion, I'll have some wine, and I had some last night at the campsite.
Would you say, Doug, that
natural? It's got to be good, like good wine.
What are you doing to channel your energy, and like what do you do? Are you like exercising a lot or something?
Yeah, I go skateboarding a lot. I ride my bike. I go to the beach every week. I try to go hiking or camping.
Now, Doug, I have a question about skateboarding. Is it considered a crime? Is skateboarding a crime?
No, skateboarding is not a crime.
Not a crime. Okay.
But look, we've gone about an hour. I don't know if Brent filled you in, but we do like a bonus half hour. It's totally optional if you guys got to go do your thing, but we're going to keep rolling, but otherwise we'll wrap it up. Either way, we're going to wrap up the main episode right now.
Well, guys, we just want you to, if either of you want to come up to Mendocino, it's an 11-hour drive.
Natasha's out.
He's already gone.
No, I'm back. I was just getting too.
I got a composting toilet with your names on it. Honestly, you could do it. Doug, you could do one of Doug's drops, if you know what I mean.
I use a lot of the drops from the champs still to this day on office hours. I'm a drop man now again.
Oh, I forgot. You guys used to have a podcast.
You know what, though, Doug? I do know that, and I hate to tell you this, because we are friends in real life and stuff, but business first. Neil and I did contact an attorney, and we're sending a cease and desist on those drops specifically.
On those drops, which are like Eddie Murphy and other people's copyrighted material.
Right.
Okay.
We consider Eddie Murphy's quote our intellectual property.
Well, that's.
I just check him. Why don't you guys keep recording, and then I'm just gonna check and make sure the baby's still sleeping, because we can't hear in here that well.
Okay. So you want to keep hanging out? You can go at any time. We'll just wrap up the main episode. So thank you guys for being on the Poundcast and sharing your wonderful.
Check out their
podcast.
The Endless Honeymoon podcast.
The Endless Honeymoon podcast. It's an advice podcast and also a secrets hotline. We help people and we make fun of them, and we learn about people's deep, dark secrets, especially some really dark quarantine secrets. So give us a call.
Yeah, you can call, actually, if you want advice from us. You can actually be on the podcast. You can email us, endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com, if you want to be on the pod.
Is it anonymous? Because I have some, well, maybe in the After Dark, we'll
let's talk about whether or not it is anonymous.
No, After Dark, I'll get some advice from you. About Brent. For Brent.
Hey, do you guys want to have like a boy thing after this? You guys can do the three of you, and then I'll go.
Do you want to be out?
Whatever they want.
Are you trying to figure out a way out?
No,
it's totally, either way is cool. We're not, we don't have.
Whatever you want. Either way is cool,
Either way is great,
Huh?
Yeah, we can do boys time. I don't care.
Whatever you want, Natasha. You want us to have boy time, or do you want to? I'm happy to.
Well, one of the things.
Let me just check on my kid.
Are we in the bonus half hour now?
Let's wrap it up. So, okay, endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com, and you guys all know Natasha and Moshe, and thank you guys for being on the show. And
we got a Netflix special too, if you want to see more of us.
Oh my God! Yeah, of course.
It's called the Endless Well, the Honeymoon Stand Up Special is what it's called.
It's not called the Endless Honeymoon. It's the
Honeymoon Stand Up Special, and that's
the
from back.
podcast is the Endless Honeymoon.
That's from back when we used to do live stand up comedy. So
We'll put that in the show description.
yeah.
Peace.
Welcome to the Poundcast. 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 Welcome to the Poundcast.